and I'm all in. Building my legacy, can't you see I'm falling? Life tried to break me, shake me, but I'm still here. Vision so clear, I got nothing to fear. Steps ordained, I maintain my lane. Hustle in my veins, purpose in my brain. Walking in my purpose, can nobody stop me? Every single step, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Focused on my path, I'm the one, I'm the key. Living out my dreams, yeah, I'm walking in my destiny. Walking in my purpose, can nobody stop me? Every single step, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Focused on my path, I'm the one, I'm the key. Living out my dreams, yeah, I'm walking in my destiny. Haters gonna hate, but they just fuel my fire. Climbing higher and higher, I never tire. Challenges come, but I'll face them with grace. Determined and strong, I'm running this race. Purpose driven, every move is divine. In the darkness I shine, my soul's alive. Manifesting greatness, I'm on my grind. Unstoppable force, I'm one of a kind. Walking in my purpose, can nobody stop me? Every single step, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Focused on my path, I'm the one, I'm the key. Living out my dreams, yeah, I'm walking in my destiny. Walking in my purpose, can nobody stop me? Every single step, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Focused on my path, I'm the one, I'm the key. Living out my dreams, yeah, I'm walking in my destiny.
Good evening, my sisters. Welcome back to Sisters Haven Podcast. We're excited that you decided to join in with us tonight. We have a special guest. I'm so excited. I've been excited as usual all week long. This is the podcast where we celebrate our strengths, resilience, and brilliance of women from all walks of life. I am your host, Cassaundra Person, and today's episode is one that will leave you feeling inspired, empowered, and ready to face whatever life throws your way. Today's guest is someone who is dedicated to mental health Her spans more than 2 decades. She is a licensed clinical mental health counselor in North Carolina with 12 years of experience and a licensed professional counselor in Virginia for the past 6 years. Over the last 23 years, she has walked across a range of roles in the mental health field, including 11 years as a mobile crisis clinician. Excuse me, I'm a little nervous, don't know why, and mental health technician. Currently, she is the proud owner and operator of Branch Therapeutic Solutions, a private practicing offering mental health counseling to children, teens, and adults, both virtually and in person. She takes great pride in helping others gain the tools and knowledge they need to lead healthier, more fulfilling lives. Please join me in welcoming Miss Elisa Branch to the show. Welcome, Miss Elisa. As you can see, I'm about to stumble over my words. There's probably too much excitement going on over here, but we're so glad to have you. And actually, you're my first guest that I'm doing virtually, so it's a new experience for me, but welcome. I have to ask you, are you comfortable?
I am comfortable, absolutely.
Are you comfortable in your own environment?
The sun might be coming in a little awkward, so I'm trying to move so it's not like
Miss Elisa,
the camera. Can you hear me?
Miss Elisa?
Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Let's see. Miss Elisa?
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Let's see. You all bear with us. Are you able to hear me now?
I can hear you. I can hear you and see you.
Outstanding. Okay,
Okay,
we
there
had
we
a
go.
break there where it was frozen for a minute.
Oh,
Well,
okay. Because I'm checking. I was like, I checked everything to make sure it was okay.
I think we may be having some internet issues. It's freezing up periodically.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, it's flowing on my end.
Miss Elisa,
I'm here. Let's see.
let's see what we can do here.
Can you hear me?
Miss Elisa,
Yes. Hello? Hello? Hello?
wow.
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
You all bear with us. There may be some technical difficulties here.
Hello? Hello?
Miss Elisa,
I'm here.
thank you, Evelyn. I can't see her or hear her.
Oh,
Um,
hello? Hello?
let's see.
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Miss Elisa,
I'm here.
okay, I have a picture back of you, but
Okay.
it's still frozen.
Gotcha. Okay.
I can see and hear the both of you. She can hear you, but you can't hear her. Thank you, Evelyn. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see if I remove you from the stage.
Frozen. Hello? Hello? Is it still frozen?
Oh, boy.
Hello?
Miss Elisa, if you can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I see you and I hear you. Wonderful. I don't know what's going on here. It has to be something with the internet, maybe the impending storm. I'm not quite sure. But
Okay.
we're going in and out. I do hear some interference in the background. But come on, let's get started. I'm just glad you're here, and you all, we
Switch it
apologize
to
for
phone. We
the
can switch it to phone.
confusion. Are you able to still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can see you. I'm good to go.
I see you smiling. I can't hear you though.
You can hear me?
Ah, and I don't know what to do differently here.
Can we do it by phone?
I tell you what. Miss Lisa,
I'm here.
can you try your telephone?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, just use that link and dial in with your phone
Okay.
and see if it works better.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. Let's see.
Are you able to hear me now?
I can hear you.
We have a very good picture of you, and you sound very clear.
Okay, because I was loading it up on my phone. I was like, we're gonna make this work today.
Okay, all right.
Is it still
So welcome.
set it up on the phone?
It sounds pretty good, and it's a
Okay.
clear picture. So welcome again, ma'am.
Great. Yeah.
Let's get started. And thank you, Evelyn. Thank you for your support. My question I have to first ask you, I'm just curious. I normally don't meet a mental health therapist or counselor every day, and especially one of your persuasion. So my question to you is, tell me a little bit, can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to become a mental health therapist?
Okay, I do get that question a lot. I think it was for me, I guess, like the approach that people had to me, and that I was always kind of, even in like high school and undergrad, that people felt comfortable talking to me, whether I knew them, whether it was a stranger, and I didn't know what to do with it, but I talked to like my guidance counselor, and I kind of did my own looking around, and I learned about like a counselor. And so I was like, well, okay, well, I'm gonna go that route. And so it took me some detours to get to a licensed therapist, but I did all the psychology stuff first because I just love to know like how people work. Yes. How do they think? How do they get to where they are? Like that's just like my area. And so yeah, it just really just started out from recognizing that, I don't know, people just felt comfortable talking to me, and they knew whatever they told me wasn't going anywhere. And then I figured out I could get paid for it and do a job and help people all at the same time. So it was like, that was perfect for me. So,
Outstanding. It's amazing that it simply started from people confiding in you. Oh,
absolutely.
wonderful, wonderful. Now, I'm definitely going to ask you some questions concerning today's climate,
Okay.
dealing with women in today's climate, what's going on in our nation, what's going on in the world. The other day, I was in a conversation. I was talking about how much the violent crimes has increased amongst women. Women are committing more violent crimes. Do you think that today's culture or climate has something to contribute to that?
Um, I I think I guess yes and no. Yes,
Okay.
because I think that the discussion about mental health is a lot more open, and the impact, and everybody's kind of feeling the upheaval of the world, whether it's like the government, politics, um, our daily basic needs, not necessarily being able to be met. Everything's high. You're trying to get a job, you're trying to get paid. Because like everybody's technically a little bit on edge.
Okay.
And you
All
can
right.
get people to the point where it's like survival mode. But on the flip side, it's like, well, it's kind of been happening anyway, but we just kind of had, I guess, like more of the escalation. So I'm not quite sure if like we're talking about it more or we're aware of it more, but there has always been an element of, violence and things like that among women as well. But naturally, it's talked about as far as men, and especially, Black men. But, there's always been women that's been a part of like the element of crime and violence too. But I think we're trying to be more open in the discussion about it, so to speak.
Okay.
It's kind of new to me.
And maybe also it's more visible now with today's technology, smartphones and recordings.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody
So,
has
so,
cameras.
so talk to us a little bit about this understanding. I'm gonna say an understanding of Black women and why we feel the need that we must be strong, or we must bear the burdens of the world, be the
Mhm.
fixers in the family. Yes, ma'am.
Um, until I actually got into this field and started to really understand counseling and therapy and things like that, it was known, it was a badge of honor to be the strong Black female. You can
Okay.
withstand things, you're resilient, you can handle things. But the more I got into this field and understood it, the more it became more of like an offensive word or offensive phrasing for me, because everyone told us we needed to be strong. And I see it across different cultures and race, but definitely for us, for Black women, we're known to be the strong one for generations and generations. We watched our grandma, great grandma, everybody was
Yeah.
strong and held everything down. And it's literally passed along, whether it was spoken to us and said and talked to us, or we watched it. You watch, your mom, she may have had 2 and 3 jobs, or grandma. So it was kind of learned, but no one tells us that being strong means that you truly aren't taking care of yourself, that it's
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
healthy. But it seems to, because a lot of the women, by the time that they get to my door for therapy, they're confused as to why they can't juggle 10 things.
Wow.
And one of the things that I tell them is that technically you weren't built to handle 10. You wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to be 2 or 3. But you learn to stretch and withstand and take over time. And you can handle 10 things and other people's 10 things. So usually we're not taking care of ourselves. We're using coping strategies to kind of work like autopilot, where I kind of know how I'm doing, but I really don't, until I crash. And by the time people get to me, they're starting to crash or they already crash. Meaning, like I don't understand why I'm so stressed, or I can't sleep, or
Mm-hmm.
so anxious. I've never had anxiety before. And then we, talk a little bit and dig and find out they've had anxiety since they were in like elementary school.
Wow.
But depending on the childhood and the framework, the household, and what was going on, they just didn't see it. It was just the norm.
Mm.
And so we're still trying to break out of that mindset that we have to be the strong Black female, which also means we don't have boundaries.
Wow.
So we're the go-to person. We take, 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 take. We take pride in being strong, so we don't ever really share or say, well, Cassaundra, you know what, I can't do that today. I can do it tomorrow. Or, you know what, let me keep my distance from Cassaundra because I need to handle her a certain way. It's not, I just handle you. I deal with everything. I got the family stuff. And essentially we don't have boundaries. And then we're not taking care of ourselves even on a basic level sometimes. Did I eat today? I forgot to eat today. It's 6:00. You know, I had some coffee and like some chips. We keep moving that way. We keep doing it until we hit a wall.
Wow.
So now offensive phrasing for me now of like, oh, strong Black female, you're so resilient. It's like, that's unhealthy.
Okay. So, I mean, you just named several things, though. You didn't ask this question, because while you're talking, I'm checking Cassaundra out.
Right.
What are some
Me too.
signs? Then what are some of the signs that you may be getting ready to just check out, or you're actually bottoming out, may I say?
Okay.
What are some of the signs?
Some of the signs can be if typically you can handle multiple different things, but you find that you get flustered and overwhelmed more often. And not like the typical I'm annoyed, but like really like overwhelmed and you're not able to settle it down. Most people know sleep is the quick telltale. So if you're not really sleeping that well on a consistent basis, or another telltale on the flip end is that you can technically fall asleep and have 8 hours technically, but you're still waking up exhausted. And it's really not a physical exhaustion. It's an emotional exhaustion. There's physical signs that we get that a lot of times we ignore. So our headaches or chronic headaches, stomach issues, weird pains, not knowing why this ache or that ache. Some people will even break out in like a rash. Some people it's heartburn, especially if you've never had it before and it just pops up. So the body will start telling us some of these things. And then other things like we will still kind of function, but we may find that we have to give more energy to do our regular things. Washing dishes, the clothes may sit a little longer. The dishwasher may be clean dishes, but it may sit a little longer. If normally I'm the quick text back and sure, let's do it. And it's like, okay, it's the next day because I forgot because my mind is scattered. I'm kind of forgetful when I can normally keep a lot of information, but now I'm kind of forgetting things. And again, like I'm getting more flustered, or I'm kind of not quite isolating, but maybe I'm isolating just a tad, where normally I want to go out and do things, but I'm finding I either have to push myself to really do it or I just don't do it like at all. So when people come in and they start to kind of tell me one or a couple of those things, then I'm already registering like, okay, we're hitting that wall.
So, Miss Elisa, how are you able to be the therapist for everybody else and hear all of their problems, all their situations, and you even take them back to their past and maybe where they experienced some trauma, some hurt? How do you not take it to heart? And I before you answer, I asked that question because as a minister, when you encounter different people and the things they're going through, even though you encourage them, you pray with them to get them through it, it still sometimes just lingers there within you, and playing back over in your mind, and you're looking at how in the world could they go through that? How will they survive? So how do you keep this from affecting you personally?
A couple different ways. They kind of talk us through a bit in our graduate program as to how to still have compassion, still have that empathy, but it's like most of the time, if our family or somebody is talking to us, we allow ourselves to emotionally consciously like step into their shoes, like just really try to fathom like how they're feeling and how heavy it is and how bad it is. So essentially I'm connecting with you emotionally, so whatever you're feeling, I'm not feeling all of it, but I'm feeling it a little bit. For my particular profession, it's not beneficial to me to
Yeah.
feel all of that. So I have to still be empathetic and compassionate, which I am, but it's almost like I don't allow myself to fully imagine
Mm-hmm.
how you're feeling that, how that's impacting your household, how that's, kind of holding you down. But at the same time, I am wanting to talk through that information with you and kind of learning about it. So it's kind of like a weird separation of being emotionally connected, not just on a human level, but also like a helper level, but not so much so that I'm in the trenches with you,
Okay.
because then that's going to pull my energy. But then I have other stuff that I do too that I can kind of dump. You know, at the end of the day,
What?
we're still human. I think some people forget like that. We're still human.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like different, self-care things that I have, whether it's um I'm very like auditory, so like the any of the rain sounds, waterfalls, um,
Mm-hmm.
smells, the lavenders, like you might come in and it just smell like eucalyptus. I have the things. Sometimes it may just be sitting in silence because I may have talked all day. So I don't say any words. I just sit. So I have different coping strategies that I use, towards the end of the day or even in the morning. I have about 30 minutes that is not anything, just to get my space, my headspace together, and then I kind of start my day. So it's different things that I do, to help me keep it together so that I can help.
Uh, one of our viewers say you have a beautiful gift.
Thank
I definitely agree
you.
with them. It is a beautiful gift. Not everybody can do what you do. Um, Question: what is one of the misconceptions often having about people have about therapy and counseling? One of the biggest
Um,
misconceptions.
the biggest misconception is a couple of them, but I would say the biggest one is that we will automatically know how to come in and fix it.
Wow.
And that, okay, I did the work, I found you, I did the paperwork, I told you all my stuff, and I want to get to work and improve my situation. So let's get it, let's do it. And it's like
So,
it's a little bit more than that, because I
okay.
would say for myself, every therapist's approach is different. My approach is more so that I can come in as an expert and I can give you every worksheet and tell you every piece of information. But for it to be effective, I can't come in as an expert because you are the expert. You know you. So
Mhm.
in order for me to even get close to where you are, then my process is like, walk me through how you see your stressors, walk me through how you're feeling and what's happening. So you're bringing me into your world. So then that gives me a better idea of like what we may have happening or what's going on, and then what route we want to take. So the misconception is like, well, you're the expert, you're the provider, let's fix it. What are we doing?
Wow.
And
So
so,
no participation basically
well,
from the individual.
it's participation, but it's not as like as concrete as what people think. Like, okay, if I've been doing therapy for like 2 months, like I should be good by now. It's like, well,
Mhm.
not really. Because we may have only peeled the first layer, and the first layer may have been you can't sleep. And so I literally can give you tips on sleep hygiene and you can hit that. but I'm a nosy therapist, so I poke around. I want to know why we not sleeping, how long we haven't slept,
Uh-huh.
what's happening in our life. Are we drinking, caffeine and Pepsi? Like, I want to know those things because that brings me into your space. So you're not just getting the surface level of I can't sleep. Okay, well we can fix that, yeah. But I need to know the rest, so then you're really kind of getting the full effect of it. But most, not all, but most people think like it's like going to your medical doctor and they send you for blood work, and then once you get the blood work, you know what's wrong, and you get the treatment, and then therapy doesn't quite work that way. It's a little bit slower depending on what you're coming in for.
Is there a difference between male clients versus female clients?
Um, Not really, surprisingly to me.
Okay.
Because each gender can come in the same way. I may get a man to come in who's they're excited, they're ready, and they're open, and they spill it. Like, let's do it. And I may get a female to come in the same way, or I may get a male that'll come in that's pretty reserved, and I may have to pull it a little bit more, and I may get a female that's the same way. So I don't personally myself, somebody else may see it different. For me, I don't see it differently. It's just personalities, whether you're male or female.
All right. Now I have another great question for you.
Okay.
I think I've shared with you previously that I had an associate that periodically, maybe at least once a year or so, she would have a breakdown and would go and be she would be hospitalized for 3 days on a psych ward and then just released. What do you think needs to change as far as the laws are concerned, concerning mental health right now, seeing that it is such a widespread issue?
Um, I think for us to really get any like true change, it's gonna be the powers that be, so to speak, to look at it as an actual priority. It is a priority,
Okay.
but it's not seen as a priority funding wise. If you have the funding, you can pay, rural areas. Of course, like I'm from Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina, so we're rural, so we're limited in a lot of our mental health resources. But even in here in Greensboro, some of the resources can be limited if you have community agencies. So they may be short on case managers, or there may be, somewhat of a shortage for community support workers who, once she was released, she would have been released not just to like a therapist that will cover, her insurance, because that's an issue, but then she will also have a caseworker, and that person can somewhat keep tabs to make sure she has the resources that she needs, and your peer support can check in more than, say, myself. And so that peer support kind of helps her then move throughout the community, whether it's medication, if she is going to a therapist, they can be that follow-up. But funding can be, so tight or non-existent that we don't have a lot of peer support that's available. And you don't really have a whole lot of case management, even though as a therapist, I've worked in community agencies before where I did the clinical part, I did the diagnosing and the symptoms, but also did the case management. So your whole session may have been, let's look at housing. Did you fill it out? Bring your forms in. Let's just sit down and fill your forms out, and let's get that done. That does impact your mental health, but we may actually do some case management because they don't have that access to it. So the biggest thing for us is funding, for sure.
I agree with you, and especially now with so many people not having insurance. So
Right.
you imagine that you have some issues going on and you're not insured. What are those individuals? What are they to do?
Right. And it's kind of a double-edged sword because it makes it tricky for us as providers as well, in that we want to provide the service, and that especially private practice like myself is very it's going to be hard to find like private practice therapists who take your Medicaids and your Medicare or even some private insurance because of so many hoops and loops they take us through just to get reimbursed. And I call this the ugly part of therapy, as far as like the insurance, the funding, money and things like that. But they take us through so much and they scrutinize us so much depending on the insurance carrier that a lot of us say, you know what, I'm not going to take that. And you can pay me, but at the highest, you may pay $200 just for individual session without insurance. And so everybody kind of gets, the community agencies start to get clogged up because they usually get the public funding. So from the state, they may get some grants and things like that. So if you don't have insurance, you can go to those community agencies. But a lot of that funding is limited. So they have the therapists, but then the therapists are overloaded. So you can come in and you can get your assessment, which just means that I collect your information, I do your intake, but you don't get to see a therapist until 2 weeks, maybe 3.
Okay. One more question. How do you define mental wellness in today's world? Because you describe some things that, I would look at it at one point and say, okay, maybe that's age right there. Or, maybe that's someone that's just overworked on their job. You describe some things that can be cross the line. So how would you describe mental wellness in today?
I would describe mental wellness as being what I call intentionally self-aware and then mindfulness. We've all heard those 2 words somewhere or another. My particular approach on intentional self-awareness is that I know myself so well that if I start to get overwhelmed, I'm mindful, meaning I'm conscious of my mindset, what I'm thinking, and I'm conscious of how my body feels. The 2 are connected. I'm never not paying attention to it. I'm so intentionally self-aware that I know when I get overwhelmed, I can feel it. And as soon as I feel it, I now have more effective coping strategies to help me settle it down versus the less effective coping strategies, which is usually autopilot, I'm not paying attention, or avoidance, I'm going to be okay, I'm going to push it through, or distraction, I'm just going to add more stuff on my plate and keep going. And so to be mentally well, or the wellness is that you're self-aware to where you can manage you at any point in time. Not that life is like perfect and you're making all the money you want. No, it may be like a tough time. You may have just lost your job, or your job is stressful, or family issues. But even in the midst of that, to be mentally well, or mental wellness is that if I'm able to be that self-aware and that mindful, and I have the best coping strategies, I'm able to truly function, not be strong, but I'm able to truly function. Even though I'm experiencing negative situations and I'm even experiencing negative emotions, but it's kind of like a thing between healthy negative emotions and then unhealthy negative emotions. An unhealthy negative emotion is like guilt, resentment, panic, depression, hurt, pain. But a healthy negative emotion is like annoyance or frustration, disappointment, sadness, confusion. A healthy negative emotion allows you to still move around in life and technically still function. An unhealthy negative emotion is like wearing cinder blocks on a book bag, and you're trying to walk around with that. And every move you make is heavier and heavier and heavier because we're still trying to move. So to me, if you're intentionally self-aware, constantly mindful, that will allow you to be mentally as well as you can be, as healthy as you can be.
All right. I said one more question, but the more you talk, the more I come up with some questions.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
What can we do as a county to get you to come back home? To open up a practice here in Northampton County. What can we do?
Put me on the spot, because
Yes, I got to put you on the spot. Yeah, what can we do to get you to open up a practice, your number 2 location? It can become your number 1 for real, and that become number 2. But what can we do? It is so much needed. We need women like you that are positive examples, and then the work that you do is so vital. It is so many people that are walking around that have not even considered seeing a therapist, and we tend to treat them like this is the norm. This is what should be going on. So
Absolutely.
what can we do to get you back? Tell me.
Well, I've made some moves towards that, So the fact that I am virtual, so I'm licensed in North Carolina and Virginia. So basically being licensed in both states is basically I can see anybody anywhere in Virginia and anywhere in North Carolina. And I have seen some people that's from the area, and we've done like the appointments virtually and things like that. So that's allowed me to kind of get back, to home.
Okay.
And I'm putting together a workshop that I want to bring back home as well, just to kind of get that information out too. Now, as far as like a physical location, like, okay, that's a couple different steps, Cassandra. I ain't got that.
So I'm assuming that you're loving the Greensboro life. That's what you're saying to me. It is a lot more there.
Now for like 28 years now.
Ooh.
I've been here since 97. I've been here a while.
Okay, all right.
But no, it definitely has been something that I've had in mind. And usually when things start to sit on me for a while, it's kind of like, God like tapping me a little bit, and then he'll tap a little more. Like, all right.
Yeah.
So I'm making some moves.
I'm gonna talk to him tonight and see what he just go ahead and sit on you a little bit.
You can talk to him about a little funding too. Yeah, throw that in there.
Well, that is true. That is true. Sisters Haven is looking for funding just as well, but I'm believing it to happen. But you're definitely much needed here.
You guys are doing for sure, and so it's definitely been something I've been thinking about and contemplating, of just kind of getting back there. My mom's been trying to get me there, of course, for like the longest. So you're not the first. I hear it a lot.
And actually, Elisa, we want you to come back too, so you can mentor. You can mentor our young women. I think that's vitally important.
Yes, that's my lane, 1,000%. I work with the organization here it's called Mothers That Stand Against Gun Violence. And unfortunately, it's a club nobody should be a part of, which a lot of them have lost their kids through gun violence here in Greensboro. And so I wanted to get back into the community. My schedule wasn't as crazy and hectic. And so I've been with them now, like, I think 5-6 years. And I just pop in. My whole goal was education. Just let me at least get the information to you. If I can't get you in the session, you're not ready, you don't want it, that is completely okay. But if I can get the information to you, I'll 1,000% do it that way. And so anybody that, comes across my way, or my mom sends my way, people send people my way all the time. I just let them know. Just call me, let me know who is it. I will mentor, absolutely let me know. So that's definitely my lane. So just kind of working it out of how to do it. Absolutely, opportunities like this. You were talking about being excited. I'm like, well, I'm excited.
I try to stay excited, especially, if you knew my story from where he brought me from. I try to stay excited daily, and I'm just glad about what he's doing in this hour. There is a lot of negativity that's going on in the nation, but he is faithful. and he knows how to make us smile, so I'm just grateful for that. Now listen, tell the people how they can get in touch with you, how they can get in contact with you.
Okay. So my practice is called Branch Therapeutic Solutions. You can contact me at 336-338-9519 or at a branch at branchtherapeutic-solutions.com. If you give me a call, I do tell people, I see people all day. So don't call and then just be like, okay, I'm gonna call back in 2 hours. Call me, leave me a voicemail. I have a private secure work cell. You can text that phone. I don't have to know who you are. You can text me. You can say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I was wondering about counseling services. I heard you on Sisters Haven. Reach out to me and we'll go from there. If it's just a question, or if you want to get set up for services, just let me know.
All right, Miss Elisa, I'm definitely going to bring you back. I am planning out a panel discussion with women and some things we want to talk about and have a nice dialogue that I believe would be able to help women. And you have been such a tremendous help today. Thank you for accepting my invitation.
Yes, so ma'am. Welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
The next time I'm in Greensboro, I will look you up. I want to come by, take a tour of your little office and all that wonderful stuff.
Please do. Let me know.
Yes, I hope this broadcast has been a blessing to you all. Please reach out to Miss Elisa Branch. You have a beautiful spirit, not just a beautiful gift. And we definitely need your expertise. So please reach out to her. Again, will you give them that number one more time, please?
It's 336-338-9519.
All right. Thank you. And you have a wonderful night
over
there. I am going to talk to him and we're going to try to get you here. But you have a wonderful night over there. Thank you
so much. Thank you again for inviting me. I truly enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Good night.
Bye.